All right. Hey, everybody. I don't know what to say anymore. These words, they keep changing on us, but hopefully we can still say good evening, and that's not a bad thing. We'll see. But good evening, everyone. Uh, here we are again, Sunday. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Steve.
What's going on? What's up?
Not much.
Can you
So,
hear me? I
yeah.
glitched out for a second there.
Oh, I hear you. You're
Okay.
there. I'm glitching out on the screen up here. I tried fixing it. I don't know. I'll see if I can. But yeah, we got 32 wonderful, lovely people here. Thank you so much. I believe I'm the only one over on Rockfin, but that's okay. And so here we are. We missed last week, and but we're here now. And so, and hopefully, did I play the right intro? I hope I did. And it's we're covering John 8, which is a super cool chapter. That one, it's funny. A lot of people, even if you don't know anything about the Bible, they know these stories. They've heard them, and this is a pretty famous one, apparently, obviously, But as people are filing in, I don't do a lot of tabs and screen sharing and stuff on this show, but I found this, Steve, because I know you're way more about crypto than I do, and like everything else, we all know that it's all manipulated, of course, but I found this article and I thought this was awesome just to say, with crypto. So there's apparently a hamster that's doing better than Warren Buffett and crypto. So
how? What is it? How? I don't know. That makes sense.
his name is Mr. Gox, and he selects dozens of cryptocurrencies. It decides which tunnel to buy or sell. And I guess where is it? Let's see. I don't know. Let me play a little bit of it here. I gotta kill the music, and we'll speed it up here. Let's see. What does it say? So yeah, he's placing orders. Oh, cool. He's buying XLM. That's actually the only one I think I have. No, XRP is what I have. So he goes in and he spins the wheel, and he chooses a crypto. And then he goes into the tube and decides to either buy or sell.
Are you serious?
So there you go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not trying to crap on crypto. There's nowhere to put money anymore. We know the fiat's worth nothing. We know that it's whatever. So I'm just saying. I think it's interesting that. Anyways.
That's funny,
Right. And
I get screwed on swings, but Mr. Hamster is sitting well.
Yeah, his name's Mr. Gox, so just remember that. So
my bad.
But and the other thing is the whole reason we do this show specifically is articles like this. Now again, I don't identify as anything. Obviously, people will probably call us closest to Christian, and that's fine. But I don't identify that. I'm just a child of Yahweh.
I mean,
God.
Real quick, people would identify us as like right-wing extreme Christian terrorist.
That is true. And
just saying,
And so, regardless of what you think of Christianity, just the idea that Newsweek is saying, "Hey, witches are on the rise dramatically as millennials reject Christianity." So,
you have no idea, man. You should see it out here. It's crazy. Especially over here in like Massachusetts in the spooky part of the world, like yeah, dude, everyone's like a witch, dude. It's crazy. They all got tattoos. They're all white as shit. It's sorry, but they're pale. They all look like vampires. Yeah, dude. Everyone just drinks soda. It's crazy. People are just gone.
Oh. So, okay.
Absolutely,
well,
yeah.
I decided.
You want to get into this?
I'm sorry?
You said you want to get into this before we get further off the train tracks?
Yeah, no, let's do this. Let's but I think everyone's filed in that's coming at least for a while. So yeah, let's do this.
Right. Let me bring this up over here.
I was watching Jen just before this, and she played her Dogman videos. Oh my God, those are the funniest things when she's whispering.
Going in again with those.
And then you hear the howling, and she's like, "Everybody has Dogman." I just crack up every time. And my dogs are all freaked out this time. They heard it. They took off. I was like, oh, good. That's good protection. So, but yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, this is the one I got. I don't know why there's no John 8 versions of the one that we did the other day.
Oh, weird.
Actually, give me let me just look.
Well, how does this one sound? Alexander.
Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same guy. There's just no words. I'd rather get the words though.
Oh, I see.
Just real quick, let me just try something. I gotta hop in my history.
Go ahead.
Scroll back.
History hop, and I'll say hi. Who we got?
You tell them.
Let's see. I'll start at the end and work my way back in time. So I see Jennifer Kiesling is here. Oh, and by the way, I finally rejoined Facebook, so I'll be able to talk to some people besides on these shows. So yeah. But Truth Loop says CFM is is the shizzle. Nice. And Jennifer says hi to Waters. And Isabella Live 2.0 is here. And Jason Man Star. My long lost dad. Oh, okay. All right, man. So let's see. Let's see where we that one kind of threw me this way. Where's my clicker here? Let's see. Okay, we'll start down here. Back if I can creepy. Exactly. Thank you. Hey CFM. Hey DJ. Let's see. Awesome Awesome's here. One love to all. Yeah. I don't know about the whole dad. I'm thinking about that one. Facebook does suck, but there's a lot of people that talk on there, and I don't know, maybe there's a way I can reach more people.
Wow.
So I'll try to do that. So it's
real quick.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Looking in my history, apparently none of those videos have ever existed.
None of the videos ever existed.
That we were doing to share they're not in there.
All right. Well, you find it, and I'll keep saying hi.
Start at the top, I won't be able to, but that's okay.
We got Young Love 4020, and we got I gotta start at the top. I don't know. I'm okay. All right, fine. Yeah, we always have to do whatever Brian said. All right, so where we got? Oh, Larryology, good to see you. Smart people in the house, he says. And who else we have here? It's always a nice day when the Prime Minister of Finland comes in. So thank you very much for taking time from your duties to be here. And Seafry is here. Good to see you. And I don't believe I'm his dad. We can do a paternity test, but I don't think so. And what else do we have? Let's see, Jason. Oh, I think we already said hi. Mary. Good to see you. And Jim Malone is here, and he's ready. And what do you say? DH. Help me out with that, Steve. What are we supposed to say there? DH. Anyways, good to see you.
I don't know.
We got Chris M, and we got Jim Malone, and I get everybody here. Let's see.
Oh, DJ hanging around in there earlier.
DJ.
Shout out DJ.
Right there.
Always looking out.
Shout out to a dog named Boo, Donna Ann Truth, Gary Thorsell, and Catherine M. And Zulu's in the house, pushing his hearts again. That was so funny what they told him what those were. Waters Above is here. Jack the Giant Slayer, and Kelly Jelly, and hopefully I got Billington though. And did I get Mary? I'm not sure. Tommy Pink snuck in here. John Wayne in the house. Nice.
I haven't seen Daryl Davis in here yet, but shout out Daryl. I'm sure he'll be viewing this at some point.
All right. Hey, Daryl Davis. Shout out to Daryl. And okay, we got Truth Lips. I think we got everybody. Rick Lewis is here. And who else? The Mystery Schooler. I think I got everybody. Now we're moving on down. I'm moving on down. Okay. It's too many there. All right. Cool. And Dirge is saying it's David Harbor. Okay. That's way easier to say than Dirge. Date, I guess.
Date. Son of a date.
Okay, how'd we do? Did we find something? Oh wait, what is that? That was
you're good. So I'm gonna play this, and then we'll just go over here and we'll read it. And when you want to pause, we'll just go back and pause. Is that cool?
Sounds great.
All right, you let me know when.
I gotta say hi to Jen. Jen, we were listening to your Dogman show. It's really great. I love it.
Yeah, shout out Jen. She's the best for real. Go subscribe if you're not there, guys.
All right, go ahead and start. I'm still throwing names on there to the people that showed up late. So go ahead.
All right. And like I was saying, I didn't get a chance to tell you this before. John 8, one of my all-time favorites. So let's get in here and we'll hopefully we'll hammer it home and do it justice.
And I brought the dad pipe. See, so we're good.
I can't see in the screen share, but I assume I know what you're doing. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Chapter 8. Jesus went up to the Mount of Olives. And early in the morning he came again to the temple, and all the people came unto him. And he...
Did that sound okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just there's no words yet.
Yes, I know. That was a sound check. I meant to.
Oh, I see.
I meant to do that, and I was like, we'll just do it real quick.
I was about to go. What is it, Bill O'Reilly? There are no words on the screen. We'll do it live.
We're doing it. All right. Well, that sounded decent.
Yes, mostly decent. Yes.
Okay. Let's kick it off again.
And early in the morning he came again to the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act.
So real quick, remember where did we leave off before? John what?
Were we at 6?
It was 5 or 6 or something like that. And if you remember, back then they were trying to like tempt Jesus into like saying the wrong things back then, and we're gonna see more of that coming up from the scribes and the Pharisees. Yeah. So it's just, everyone's just always trying to, get a lick on him, and they don't quite. I mean, I feel like they always knew it was him. He was always, you know what I'm saying? They always knew, but they were always they had that, the whole system that still exists to this day, like over them, probably forcing them to, snoop around. So it's nothing new under the sun. Just to point that out real quick. But you have anything to add, or you want to get back in?
No, I think we're good right now. They're just getting to the good part.
Okay. Yeah, we just had to warm them up. All right.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not.
Okay, now there you got to stop.
So when they can...
Oh, thank you, Brian, for posting that on. I appreciate that. So this thing, I've looked into this multiple times when I read this passage, because first of all, it's like one of the most famous, right? It's where we get that saying I put in the beginning, let he without sin cast the first stone, which is probably Mandela. I don't know, Brian's here if it's wrong. But in any case, it's like one of those most famous moments. And to this day, they still, I don't care how long you've studied scriptures and how smart you are, they still argue about what he wrote on the ground, because at least in the records that we know of, that doesn't say what he wrote, but there's a lot of conjectures about what he might have wrote, because I guess they matched it up to other passages, but it doesn't specifically say what he wrote. And so there's two ways of thinking. It could be about what he wrote, or he could have just been stalling time, because what they're saying is, and that's where a lot of people I feel get hung up with Old Testament versus New Testament, because Old Testament, there was some like consequences, right? And the Moses laws they always bring up. But when Jesus shows up on the scene, he pays for the sins. So they don't do the same kind of things anymore with the sacrifices and all that stuff. And so I feel potentially, and I'm not alone with this, when he sat on the ground and he was writing, whether or not he wrote anything or what he did write, actually, doesn't even matter. It was almost like in poker, he was taking a moment to make everyone else nervous and try to, you know what I'm saying? Because he basically, I know, spoiler alert, they want to kill her, and he's like, hey, which one of you can do that first? And so I honestly think part of the writing on the ground is just stalling for time to make everyone start questioning, am I really without sin to do this kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, just like a stall, pretty much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real power move, right? It means you control the entire room. It's like, hey, we got a question, and he doesn't even answer. He's just drawing. You know what I mean? It's so powerful.
Right. He could have just like honestly just wrote down like, you know, I mean, like I am or something. Cause I'm sure like that's would be appropriate. They're probably like, what is this guy talking about? You know? But no, I like that. It was a good add-on there. Good stuff. I like that take on it.
Oh, here. Then we can.
All right, you.
That's very true. That's very true.
On the ground.
What was that? Was that me or you?
Oh, that was me. I was just doing my cutaways. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay, sorry.
No,
I can't see over here. All right.
As though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
There like you said, he goes down, writes on the ground again, just like drops the mic and then just goes back to, that's basically you said in poker, like before he was just stalling again. Now he just went all in, you know, and you got a 2 and a, you know, a 10, you know, off suit, off color, everything, you know,
yeah, right.
And he's just like calling all in, and you're like, oh crap, you know, he just called us. He's like, this guy's got probably ace.
But it's even worse than that, Steve. It doesn't even. I mean, of course, it would matter what he had in his hand, but he's Jesus. He knows what's in all of the other hands.
Exactly.
Right? He already knows. This son of a gun, he knows the answers to every question before he asks them, and he just wants to see the response. He already knows the answer to that question.
He's more or less just like testing their guts and their heart, you know?
Yeah. It's more sorting. It's constant. Just
absolutely. Like you said, I think that's why when you ask him like a question, he gives you like a riddle, you know, and if you can figure it out, you know, he's like, okay, like you're on a decent path. But if you're just standing there, like, what's this dude even like saying? It's like, okay, well, you got some things to work on, buddy.
Well, it's just like when we were talking about when they were with the fish,
you know,
and he fed everybody, and then he took off, and then they wanted to go find him, not because they wanted to hear more of what he had to say. They just want to know how he teleported. It's like, you're not even listening to me, is what he says. You came here just for the food and the games. Get lost, kick rocks. That's what he basically says.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. You good?
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
And they which heard, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
Hey, what do you think is going through this woman's mind right now?
Well, okay, so
that's a good question, you know, just for context, you know.
Well, I guess it depends, you know, what she was actually doing that they accused her of. They never really say. It kind of feels like maybe
they said lusting, I think.
Yeah, she was doing something because he does. Lust. Yeah, he references it at the end about like he always does. Like whenever he does something and you're about to take off, he's like, "Yeah, get out of here and sin no more." He always kind of says that little last line, you know. So she was doing something. And so I would think that she must have just been blown away because she thought for sure this is the end. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, this however many people, I don't know if it ever says, but the crowd of people that were there to do it, they just dispersed. So that must have kind of blown her away, I would think, right?
Absolutely, right. I'd be like kind of nervous.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like thankful, but like nervous to go say thank you, you know, because like, oh, what is this guy actually going to say to me? You know, like, get lost, lady. I just saved you. You know, obviously that's not what happens, but.
Right. But what if she's thinking like, what's he writing on the ground? Maybe she's freaking out. Is he writing like, you know, right? Or okay, this is the order of who's going to throw stones. This guy, this. I mean, what is he writing?
You get 2 stones. No, I feel you. No, I like that. All right, let's get this going.
When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
And there's that famous mic drop.
And he's so funny, too. He's so funny. Again, as soon as they brought her there, and all those people were there, he already knew how it's going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that once he asks this question, they're all going to bail. So he already knows. And so then he does it, and they all take off. And then he's like, he doesn't even like go to the end where he just like, okay, they're all gone, so just get out of here. No, he's got to like, hey, where is everybody? Huh? Where'd they all go? You know, he's like asking her.
Hey.
You know, like, well, if they don't accuse you, guess what? I don't accuse you either. You know, it's so funny. It's like, it's hilarious.
Right. It's like a nonchalant way of saying, like, you're welcome, and now just don't get in this situation again.
Yeah. Like, he's not asking for her to say, wow, thank you. He's just like, no, they're done. See ya. Get out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, Thou bearest record of thyself. Thy record is not true. Jesus answered and said unto them, Though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true. For I know whence I came and whither I go, but ye cannot tell whence I come and whither I go.
So here's more of an example that we were saying before. The Pharisees are, gotta love
Time
that.
to update Windows.
Yeah, and lose more pictures. You love to see that. And well, let's just start with 12 up here. You know, spoke unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness. Like that's something that a lot of people like need to look for. You know what I'm saying? Like people who don't look into the Bible or anything spiritually. It's like, I know if you look into other places like Hinduism and Buddhism mostly, like they'll show you what enlightenment is, you know, but this is like the real light, you know. Yeah. Enlightenment comes only after that. You don't achieve enlightenment here, you know, because that's it's almost like transhumanism, you know, but in a spiritual way, trying to become like I don't know how you would call it, like, you know, the new age thing that we're gonna become like beams of light here on Earth. Like I don't think that's accurate at all. That's just deception. You know, that seems like either deception or some crazy uploaded crap. But where was I going with that?
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that is you're saying that he doesn't, because Jesus doesn't get his enlightened body until after he dies.
Yes,
because he even says that he's like, I can't give out the Holy Spirit until this thing has been done, and that's when he gets crucified. I believe he goes down to hell, shale, whatever you want to call it.
He goes further than that. He goes into the pit. He talks to the fallen. He's like, you guys have lost. I'm declaring victory over you, and you're beat. Yeah. You know, because
he's gone for 3 days, and it even says that first
it's like Noah.
What's that?
Just like, or not Noah, Jonah,
yeah. So he's gone for 3 days, and then it says he first descended before he ascended. And then after that happens, when they see him again and he's back, then he's enlightened because he just like, boom, you got Holy Spirit. You got Holy Spirit. You got Holy Spirit, right? And they had like tongues talking. Man. Yeah.
My God. Yeah, dude. And like I'm saying, the analogy that I like for just spirituality and this whole like transhumanist like agenda that's being pushed forward with you know, the rollout of the, you know, the juice, but we're like caterpillars, you know. The caterpillar lives, you know, he does this thing for a little bit, goes in his cocoon, he goes to sleep, and he comes out as a beautiful butterfly. The caterpillar is not supposed to go around trying to become a better caterpillar. to become a butterfly before he goes to sleep. You can't skip the step. You come here, you die here, and then you're good to go pending how you did here. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
there is one exception, because it does say that some people or whatever it says won't see death before they see this enlightenment. So God has the ability to
that's the
just say,
144,000,
yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
But I'm
But
not I'm not holding out for that, right? It's like I'm
I
here
don't.
with you. We're going to see it through the end and know that no matter what happens to us, we'll make it, hopefully, God willing, on the other side. So I'm not waiting for the finger snap, because you can't. I mean, if it
No.
happens, great, but you can't prepare for that, because you don't even know who it is and when that happens, or if it already did. So no,
That's it.
I'm with you.
Exactly. I could see them pulling off like some sort of fake rapture event with the blue beam tech, and I mean they had a I don't know, a 400-foot panther walking around the stadium the other day in Carolina. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the giant dragon in, was it China? The same thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. They had the Falcon or the Raven in Baltimore last year. It's ridiculous, man. It's. You want to hear another funny stat, just because we're talking about like
absolutely.
This is completely unrelated, but there was this dude on, I think, Barcelona. He scored today. It was his first time returning to the team, because he was off on injury. He got really hurt last year. You know how many days he hasn't played in? It's his first game in 322 games, and he scores a goal.
322.
Interesting.
Bingo.
Of course.
Yahtzee. Bingo. Is that Yahtzee. Is that your final answer?
Had I known that,
Oh my God, that's funny.
That's ridiculous. I was like, wow. I was like, that is just sinister. And like I said, it's all about transhumanists. 322, skull and bones. 3 sets of 22 auto zones. We have 2 sets now.
Yeah.
We got 44 46. Yeah, we have 46 chromosomes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and anything more would be 47. And it just freaks me out, because we're at the 46th president now, right?
45, 46. Yes.
So I think the next president is probably going to be a human hybrid of some sort, whether we know it or not.
Yeah. Well, what happened to that whole thing where they said the last president, it was supposed to be Trump, and then now we got rubber face or whatever.
He could walk back in, and
that's what I'm saying. It could be him. He could be the next one.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, what did you take? What did you take?" You know what I'm saying? Oh, I took hydroxychloroquine. Whatever.
I mean, that would really piss off the country. That'd be really successful for them, don't you think? First they had the orange guy.
Pissed us off. Now
they got the rubber face
on the other side, and they'll just do it to the flip side.
Yeah, throw them back in
more violent. They're just waiting to piss them off.
Shoot, well, I could dust off that MAGA hat.
So, I saw someone wearing that today. I was at a golf tournament. I was like, all these people are just so misguided,
Man.
It's unfortunate, man.
And we keep up on it. I do it just in case Brian asks me on a show or something, and I go on there and I look, and the things that they say that are happening, it's just like, I mean, I'm making this up, but it's literally something like, did you see Trump was holding a cup, and on it said GSA, right? And that means saving the children from Mars, and it's just like he can do anything. Trump farted twice, and that means, it's like, come on, stop.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I got people who hit me up, and they're like, "Oh, did you see Arizona that all the audits got cleared?" Or I'm like, who cares? I'm like, we already been known it was rigged. We knew it was rigged 10 years ago when we knew all elections were rigged. Yeah. And you guys are just having a hissy fit over this one. What about the one before, and the one before, and the one before, and the one before? How about how they're all rigged? How about how they're all selected? They're all actually family members.
Nobody actually says, so like when you fill out a form and then you mail it in or whatever you do, and then they take that and then they it doesn't matter how well that they get those votes and put them together. At the end of the day, they just tell whatever they want on the television. We've known that about everything. So you don't even know if the numbers you're seeing are real.
No idea.
They're fighting over fake numbers. It'd be like what we're doing now with the numbers of the injuries and stuff from these shots. It's like we're fighting over fake numbers of people that have supposedly gotten this illness and died. And so it's the same thing. We're going to fight over a bunch of fake. That doesn't even matter what you do because they're going to choose whoever they want. I think I even learned that. I believe Brian's idea where I think any politician basically from governor up is selected and you don't have a say. You might have a say at the lower levels. And
I think even mayors in cities, especially major cities.
True.
They're all in, like all the way down to maybe even the clerksmen, man. It's shady, dude. And they're all like they're not in on it, but they're in enough into a position where they either believe they have power or they have select power. It makes them think that they're top notch. And they probably don't even know that there's 13 more steps in the pyramid above them,
That's very true. Very true.
Answer to, yeah. And they think they only answer to 2 or 3 people, but they don't know who they answer to and they answer to. And the people they think they're against, they answer to the same person, the adversary from down low. Crazy stuff. But let's get back into the non-crazy stuff.
Yeah. How did we leave so far off the Bible?
I'm sorry, but
what? It's our show.
Yes, Jesus. Yeah. You say the light of the world. Yeah, like I said, it's just a big, heavy, bold statement, and then the Pharisees are like, "What do you like? How can you prove that?" And Jesus just like, "Well, I know where I came from. I know what I'm here for, and you guys can't tell what I'm here for, can you?" It's kind of like like trying to ask them at the same time when they're asking him.
Yeah.
But do you have anything you want to add real quick, or should we pick her up?
Let's jump back in. I was just saying hi to some people who are Rockfin, hi Rockfin fans. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring it back 5 seconds. Okay.
Bring it on back. On back.
Whence I came and whither I go, but ye cannot tell whence I come and whither I go. Ye judge after the flesh. I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true. For I am not alone, but I and the Father that sent me.
And that's huge right there, because once again, we're not supposed to judge. I mean, if Brian's still in the chat, someone was saying, where is it? Hang on. Saw something. Someone was saying, yeah, here it is. Carrie's going to talk to their mother-in-law about the Bible changes, and good luck with that. That's great. But if it helps, I still have on my YouTube channel, I have one about Bible changes, a little video. I'll throw it in the chat. But one of the things is that saying that judge lest not ye be judged, which is all messed up now. But basically, it's saying, and at least the idea behind it, where before it got messed up, was that we're not supposed to judge people. Only God is. And it's crazy good right here, where he's like, you judge after the flesh, like basically from man. And I don't judge, because he doesn't. He's here to get us straightened out, to let us know what's happening, to wake us the heck up, and let us know there's a judgment coming. He's not judging right here.
Right. He's like, hey.
He's in charge of it when it happens, but he's like, I'm not judging you. I just want you to know you better get your shit together.
Right.
Because there is a
I'm not
judgment.
judging you yet, It's like, y'all been living wrong. This is time to, like, you don't have to do everything like me, but at least, make the effort, I feel like that counts a lot too,
Yeah.
At least taking on like struggles and battles you have, I feel like that goes a long way too.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. But let's and like it says, they judge the flesh, I judge no man. And it's just like people get in trouble for like materialistic things like tax evasion or fraudulent documents, and they end up spending years in jail or in debt for life, and their credit's ruined, blah blah blah. And that's all fleshly like judgments, like can't go get a car because your fleshly judgment credit score is under 650. You know what I'm saying? Like that's and that's wrong. People get punished and people can't get a living or feed their family sometimes because of that. And there's none of that in the next step where we're going. There's no car payments. There's none of that. It's just about your soul and your what you brought to the table here is what's really going to matter too. So
yeah,
definitely. And like we said before, I always like to make this disclaimer. I'm not a super Christian, I'm not perfect in any means. I still struggle with sin. I deal with issues, and it's just, it's always good to know that I got, the Holy Spirit, God on my side to help me tackle these,
Oh yeah,
a lot of people don't have that luxury, and it's right there always for them, and they deny it.
If I guess we forgot, not that we need one, but just the whole disclaimer. This is just two people that are reading the Bible and giving us our take on it. We have no scholarly knowledge other than what we've discerned in the last however many years. Neither one of us have any religious affiliation. We just we believe that there's a lot of information in this book, and so we just wanted to talk about it, and so that's what we're doing. But I do have here. I have. Can I screen share? If you're already screen sharing, let's see if this works.
Yeah, it'll just kick me off. Then you just have to re-add it after.
Here, I'm sharing. Do you guys see this? This has been changed. Judge, let's not use it. Show.
Matthew 7:1.
Yeah, that one's been changed. It currently states, where is it? Here, judge not that ye be not judged. It's really confusing the new way, but yeah, that's the way I remember it. So, and that kind of comes from what we're reading in a way, this passage. So, anyways, stop sharing there. Okay, next. And I'll throw that in the chat so you guys can see that video if you want to watch it. So, yeah.
All right.
Of course, watch it after the show.
Sorry, I was just responding to someone. All right. You can add me back now. We're good to go.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Amateur
good.
hour.
It's all good. All right, let's you ready to pick it up? I think we're at 17 now.
Mm-hmm.
It is also written in your law that the testimony of two men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me beareth witness of me. Then said they unto him, Where is thy Father? Jesus answered, Ye neither know me nor my Father. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also.
And that just like goes to show, like I said, nothing new under the sun these days. You're not gonna know one without the other. And I know people that say like, oh yeah, I believe in God, blah blah blah, but Jesus was just a normal man. I'm just like, yeah, about that. I'm like, I don't think so. It's just very unfortunate people think like that, I think.
Yeah. And as far as the changes, it is a supernatural thing, this whole Mandela effect. And the people that don't want to look at the Bible, and they point to two things: the fact that it says King James on the cover, which we've discussed, that could just be a ruse. He might not have done anything but just stamped his name on it to mess with people. But even if he did change it, or over the years it's been changed, and then it's been Mandela affected and stuff. I've said this before: the creator that I believe in, that created everything, including us, you don't think that he has a way of still getting his word to you, even if that book's messed up? Absolutely, he does. Does he not know it's happening? Absolutely, he knows. Everything that happens, good and bad, God allows. Now, when we see the bad things, right? And when we see the bad things, we immediately go, oh, God, how could you do this to me? Why would you let this happen? But, you read the books of Job. We need to get into that one of these days. But it's the same idea. It's like You don't know the actual plan. If let's say you made choice A instead of B, and then all of a sudden all these things happened that were really bad. Whereas if you'd done B and it was bad for a little bit, then all of a sudden everything went great. So we don't know. And it's one of the hardest things about faith is like not understanding why things don't happen the way you want or on your timeline. But if you have faith in God and you just keep walking that path and talking to him, it does work out. The people that I've talked to that are awake to this things going on, at least to some extent, even though the world looks ridiculous, they're some of the happiest people. I mean, I'm one of my happiest times of my life. I've got a lot of crap going on and some things breaking my heart and some issues, health and stuff. But in my heart, the happiest I've ever been. And I think that's because I found out where I live and I found out God's right here. What do you think?
Bingo, man. Bingo. I like that. Like you were saying before about the whole like Job thing and how like certain things are allowed to happen here, and it's under, it might not be in God's will, but it's being allowed by him, you know, because the great restrainer is being loosened. Mm-hmm. And I think there's gonna be definitely some more tests for us for sure. But at the end of the day, we all have to remember that, like I said, it's like God's letting it happen for a reason, because we can either get through it. It's a lesson that we need to learn or whatever, even though that, you know, it could be something derived from, you know, the men downstairs, those, the fallen, you know, Satan and all his minions. It could be plotting just little hiccups and bumps in your life, or something dramatic could happen, and something spiritually could be involved negatively, and you know, puts you down, puts you in a hole. But it's all about how you react and respond to something like that. But like I said, at the end of the day, you have to remember, it's kind of like I was saying a couple of weeks ago, the whole Willy Wonka thing, you know, and how Slugworth actually works for Willy Wonka, you know, and they didn't know that. And in like either way, you give Slugworth what he wants or you give Willy Wonka what he wants, Willy Wonka's still going to get it at the end of the day. So might as well give Willy Wonka what he wants, you know? And that's yeah.
That's very true. Very true.
All right. You good?
I think so. Oh no, actually there was a comment I wanted to address.
Address it.
Carrie. So yeah, sorry about what you're saying here, but that was another thing. Again, pointing to the fact that the Bible gives out so much good information, and so when I read the passage you're talking about, where it talks, like, I think it's in Revelations with an S or not with an S, where, you know, a brother turns brother and mother and daughter and all that. And one of the things about my family, it's not that large, but we've never had a fight that didn't last, I think, more than maybe a day or so. And my wife used to laugh at, you know, that's silly. She's never seen a family like that. That, you know, a lot of families don't talk to this person or that person for years, and we never had that. And so when I read that passage, I was like, well, that's weird, because that definitely doesn't apply to my family ever. And currently I have my brother. He'll talk with me as long as it's just about like chickens and stuff. But if I mention anything about this stuff or what I do, we're done. And then I have one of my sons that just, because of this, doesn't want to talk to me right now. And so when I got there, I was like, wow, I read this and I didn't believe it. And here it is. So once again, this book that, you know, people are saying is grabbled and whatever, it's still, I know of no other book in my life I've ever read that I can go, wow, that matches up to what I'm dealing with right now. There's not a single book I've ever seen that does that except this one. And so, yeah, again, and someone mentioned that King James Freemason. Yeah, we know all this stuff. And it could be that he messed it, or he could be that, because we know that just by putting a stamp on the cover, everyone thinks it's messed with. And maybe they didn't take the time to do much screwing with it. I don't know. Well, none of us know. All I know is there's still good information in there, and we shouldn't shy away from information, no matter where it comes from. We don't have to follow it, use our discernment. But, you know, a lot of people grew up with watching, I didn't, but like Alex Jones and those guys, and they had information until they, you know, decided to do whatever they do, gatekeep, whatever you call it. but there still was information in there. So there's still good information in this book. So
Absolutely. I like that. All right. And like we were saying about the whole King James thing, these people could have just stamped that on there thinking that no one would question that narrative until, from the stories that they tell around the world, like minus China for the most part, like Christianity was like a popular thing up until like 100 years ago, and then all this like not witchcraft, but this new age stuff moved in, like with what's it called, Helena Blavatsky, the SS, the Vril Society, and all of them. Who were the guys over here doing crazy stuff? Crowley, Jack Parsons, all of them. They were doing gnarly stuff, and then ever since then, like it's been really, really like flagrantly like satanic. So I don't know, but maybe people just people wouldn't question that narrative of King James not being legit until around now, and they plan things well in advance.
Sure.
Well in advance. It's called great work,
Because you're right. In the beginning, everyone would be like, "Oh, this is written by him. It's good." And then when we come around, we're like, "Oh, don't read it." So they get it both ways. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. They get their way for a couple hundred years, and now they get it. Now they're getting their way the other way.
And like I said, a lot of us are experiencing hardships. I saw flat accord, and then also, I'm really sorry about your aunt, and prayers and blessings to your family for this loss. And we're all experiencing different types of heartaches and hardships. And part of coming together here, not just to hear what we have to say about these things, is part of it is the gathering, because as it used to say, two or more are gathered, then God's with us. And so that's kind of what this is. And the most powerful tool we've talked about it before, we'll probably bring it up again at the end of the show, is the power of prayer. And so it does so much, and yet we still, even myself, I forget or don't do it properly. So I'm learning.
Same, dude. Same. It's same. Like I'll remember like last second, like right before I'm about to like fall asleep, I'm like, oh man. I was like, just hear me real quick. I'm comfy. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. Let's pick this back up. All right.
Yeah.
These words spake Jesus in the treasury as he taught in the temple, and no man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. Then said Jesus again unto them, I go my way, and ye shall seek me, and shall die in your sins. Whither I go, ye cannot come. Then said the Jews, Will he kill himself? Because he saith, Whither I go, ye cannot come. And he said unto them, Ye are from beneath, I am from above. Ye are of this world, I am not of this world.
That's pretty gnarly. It's like a whole like mic drop. Like, what do you mean? Like, I shall die, you can't come. It's just, they're all like, probably like, what they said, the Jews, like, what is this guy talking about? He's gonna kill him.
He literally says in this book somewhere in John, where they don't take his life. They don't have the power to do that. He says he lays down his life, and he has the power to lay his life down, and he has the power to take it back.
And he does.
So right. And so when he says that no man laid hands on him for his hours not, he already knows that they can't. And then he knows that he's going to be gone and they can't do what he's doing. And so they're like they're so confused because they're still thinking in this linear, real world, and not the whole idea what he's saying about the spiritual side and the and the afterlife, or whatever you want to call it. He's talking this, and they're still down thinking what he's discussing. Like, is he going to shoot himself or whatever? Or do they have guns back there? Whatever.
No,
Hang himself. Yeah.
No.
Whatever.
You know what else is interesting? He says you guys are from beneath, and I am from above.
Yeah.
You are from this world, and I am not from this world. And like in my mind, that's kind of another like flat Earth reference too. and it could definitely be like some sort of like maybe like well, let's see, those people got wiped out from the flood, so never mind. But just so many things you could take from that as well. Like that's a big saying. You know, I'm from like above. You know, like, you can't be above a globe.
Well,
space.
That could be too, but the way I've read it in my head was, you know, we're man, and there's like three categories, right? There's God, there's the angels, and then there's man. And so, you know, Satan and Jesus and I believe we're more just of the angel type. That's why he had to introduce Jesus into the world as a man. So he wasn't a man. And so that's why what does it say? You took it off the screen. He says,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be. It says somewhere in here. Where is that? Yeah. Okay. You are from beneath, I am from above. You're of this world and I am not. See, he wasn't from this world. He was inserted in here for a purpose. So that's what I see from that. And as far as it's saying the world, again, the way I see it is this: God created the heavens and the earth. He didn't create the world. Satan, I believe, created the world, and the world meaning like the globe lie and whatever. And that's what we're stuck in because
and they're of this world. Yeah.
Right. Ball, B-A ball, right? That's another name for Satan. So the ball earth, the world, is what he's saying. You guys are from this world. I'm not. And neither are we actually, but we're stuck in here provably because when Satan offers him all the kingdoms of the what does it say in that? The world, I guess. And when he offers him all those kingdoms, he can only do that because he owns them, right? So he does run this place, this prism that we live in. He runs it. He's allowed to, at least in my mind. So Satan just brought to the highest mountain. What do we got here? They took the very highest mountain. Yep, world. At least in that one, new world. New international. What does the KJV say? There, you just passed it. Yeah, they're all about the world. So it doesn't say earth, it says world. And I believe that's because it's, again, just my conjecture. It's a reference to where we actually live. Because we got kicked out of the garden, right? Adam and Eve got us kicked out. So we don't live there anymore.
Yeah. They got us banned. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
I said therefore unto you that ye shall die in your sins. For if ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. Then said they unto him, Who art thou? And Jesus saith unto them, Even the same that I said unto you from the beginning. I have many things to say and to judge of you. But he that sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I have heard of him. They answered them of the Father. Then said Jesus unto them, When ye have lifted up the Son of Man,
we had
then shall ye know that I am he.
I had a really bad echo. Was that
me?
Was it just me? Hopefully, I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah, I'll throw the phones in.
While you're doing that, where is it? Someone wrote. Johnny Cool says Satan has no balls, so he invented one. I like that. There was a meme that I'm gonna eventually use somewhere.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You want to give it a shot again? We'll go back 10 seconds.
Yeah, we were just discussing Johnny Cool's comment that Satan has no balls, he invented one. And so someone sent me this meme, and it says, Satan is pleased. Welcome to hell, he says. You've wasted your pitiful life. And then the person says, yeah, well, at least I'm not an adult living in my father's basement. And Satan fights back tears and said, screw you.
That's funny.
All right. Because, right, isn't that it? He's living in his father's basement. That's funny.
Right, in the apartment basement, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick this back up.
They understood not that he spake to them of the Father. Then said Jesus unto them, When ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself. But as my Father hath taught me, I speak these things. And he that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him. As he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, If ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Yeah.
The truth shall make you free.
Right? How many times that I found out when I was reading the Bible that pretty much everything we've ever, catchphrases, movie plots, songs, were all plagiarized from the Bible, and I had no idea. Like, I always thought that was a quote by someone else. You know what I mean? And it comes from
Yeah.
God. You know, everyone plagiarized God.
Yeah, and another thing to look at that is it's like, you know, once you realize all the deception and lies and you know, just all the plots that they have here in this world against just us in general, you know, and everything that they do to hide the existence of where we are and God in general, and try to despise him for the ones who do see and have questions. It's it's just very
Well, here's a good question. So this is like the $1 million question, or whatever money you want to put on it. It's the one that everyone asks constantly. But you just, again, I believe part of what we're doing here is a test. And it's just like you saw in Harry Potter and the Sorting Hat. Like, we're here, we're given choices, and depending on our choices, we're being tested and sifted and sorted to where we need to go. And does it suck? Yeah, there's a lot of things that suck. But if you look outside the quote world and you really see God's green earth, there's some beauty that's just amazing through all this nonsense. And so it's going to be a question. Honestly, the only person that could ever answer that is going to be the creator. And the only way you're going to get that answer is to continue to ask him. Now, is he going to tell you right away? I don't know. Yeah, probably not. You know, he does a lot of listening. He does talk, but it's very quiet. You have to really listen for it. And a lot of times you'll answer a question and there's crickets.
Yeah. And another thing here about the truth shall set you free. Like, how much like better do you feel just like in general, like seeing the deceptions and knowing the lies and not falling for the tricks and the matrix and the spell casting and whatnot? Because that alone, you know, whether you have made it back to the real truth, but just realizing all that is just like a load off of you almost, you know.
Yeah.
But without realizing the complete truth, like of Christ and God and all that, you'll you can get down on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you're aware to all the bad stuff in the world, you know, it could put a toll on you. It can really like drag you down, and that's kind of a plot, you know, having all these crazy like conspiracies that are actually true might make one go like nuts, you know, like holy crap, we live in a loony bin, you know, like look at all this crazy stuff happening, and it's actually here and it's actually real. This is not a sci-fi movie. And without knowing that, you can get saved by literally just accepting Jesus and acknowledging God. You know, it's that's the real free, you know. And it's a whole nother like step, you know, that people I feel should take and commit to, you know, for sure. But do you have anything you want to add, or you want to keep going?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay,
let's do this.
Let's hit them.
Free. They answered him, We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Jesus answered them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word hath no place in you.
Yeah, see, that's what he's saying. They're trying to argue this, like, and that's where at least to what I know of, the Muslim religion does a lot of talk about Abraham. And Abraham, according to the Bible, was, I believe, the only one that God called his friend, and he walked with him. In fact, I remember when I first started talking to God, I was like, I'll be your friend,
Right.
but
Hey.
So he thought really highly of him too. And the stories of Abraham are crazy, where he did so much. Like, this man saw so many things. God literally was still walking with him, kind of always around and stuff. And so when he did that whole story where he's like, hey, I got this crazy idea. Why don't you go kill your kid? And he's like, oh, all right. Well, if that's what's supposed to happen, okay, there's got to be a reason. He goes to his son. He's like, hey, God wants this. And he's like, okay, Dad, let's do this. It's like, whoa. It took me forever to, like, first of all, why would God do this? And second of all, why would they agree to it? And then in fact, I was talking to my friend that is Muslim. He was explaining it to me. It's like, Abraham had such crazy faith, but you got to think of what he was seeing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so if your best friend was the creator,
I would.
hell yeah, right? You'd be like, hey, Steve, let's go this way. You'd be like, nah, I feel like going over it. No, okay, where you want to go? What are we doing? Yeah. So it's like, so when you think of it on that level, and then when he actually goes to do it, and God, of course, stops him and then gives him a different sacrifice. And then they were still sacrificing things before Jesus became the ultimate sacrifice. That's why we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, the true lamb.
Right. And so, so then he stops him, and it was like, wow, you are everything I thought in you. You have such faith that you even go this far, and I would never make you hurt your child. Because then when you fast forward, it made sense to me, because it seems like the way I see it is, when God made the rules of the universe, of the laws of nature, you have to have free will, and you have to be cleansed of your sins, right? And so if you didn't, it meant death. And so I believe Satan's holding God's feet to this rule. He's like, hey, then they're all dead because they're all sinning. And so he's like, okay, well, I've got the get out of jail free card. I'm going to send my one and only son down there, and we're going to have him walk around, teach things, and then you guys are going to put him to death. And he's going to literally pay the sin of death for everyone that wants it. And so that's the whole idea behind Jesus. And again, don't get caught up in the name. None of us know his real name. None of us know what he really looked like. I don't believe that even matters. A presence was here for a while, and so many people wrote about it, and so many different religions and cultures and stuff. We can't deny there wasn't something here. And if that something or someone was here for this exact purpose, and he's like, hey, all you got to do is acknowledge I'm here, and you're cool, as long, you got to continue the works. If you choose not to accept that, that's the free will again. And it's amazing to me, again, coming from a background of being Jewish, and we were taught Jesus was nothing but a prophet and don't even read the Bible. The fact that I'm saying these things now, just a few years later.
You must be an extremist.
You're right. Yeah, an extremist. Yeah.
He's not safe.
There's something that happened. It's that experience that they talk about that didn't come from a book. I found God without a book. A lot of people have.
Same,
I do believe that book is very valuable in teaching us, though. It's the main reason we discuss it. But no, the whole idea, the idea of Jesus and what he did, it's mind-blowing to think that a presence of someone came down here, didn't even know you, and he's like, yeah, I got this one. I'm going to go up on that cross and just get the hell beat out of me beforehand, and everyone's going to hate me and spit on me and I'll die. But don't worry, I'm doing that for you. I don't even know you, but I love you. Like, who does that? Well, Jesus, but who else? No one.
Right.
So yeah, that's why I feel it's so important. And that's why they're like, well, we're from Abraham's seed and we don't hear about this stuff. And he's like, I know you're from Abraham's seed, but I'm talking about something even beyond Abraham. Abraham had a father. He's my father too. That's who I'm talking about. You don't get caught up in Abraham. Yeah, he's a great dude. I'm pretty good too, but no, we're talking about someone else, right?
Right. We're not dissing Abe, you know?
No, yeah, Abe, right?
All right. That was good stuff, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Hey, maybe we need one of these. Do I have one of these here?
That's very true. Very true.
I like with the echo too.
That's awesome. All right. Let's pick it back up.
Indeed, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me because my word hath no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus saith unto them, If ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
They just got caught in their own like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like either way, they weren't gonna win that one.
No. Has anyone ever won an argument with him? I doubt it.
And I feel like he's just like sitting there with like his hands like in like this, just like,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, how'd that work out? You know, like if you guys were really Abraham's like descendants, you know, which they obviously are, you know, but if they were like actually like true to the bloodline and the heritage and the traditions and the culture and the religion, basically, I guess you can call it, it would their acts and the way they would be approaching this, you know, Jesus would be a whole different vibe, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to make that go away. It keeps telling me I have notifications, so it's gonna keep it's gonna be in your rerun. I feel bad, but
it's fine. It's
all
fine.
Right. All right.
And Brian, I'm not starting a cult. This is it, whatever this is.
He's not my dad, damn it.
No. I think we already got the test results back. That was fast.
Wow. Like it's like Maury's show, you know?
You are not the father.
Come on. All right, let's go.
But now ye seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, which I've heard of God. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, We be not born of fornication, we have one Father, even God. Jesus said unto them, If God were your Father, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Bam.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, basically that's what we cover, and Jen covers, and you cover, whatever, every day is his story. History has obviously been altered. We keep unpeeling this onion and finding more and more things that are just completely made up. And so we live in Satan's ball. Nice. We live in Satan's ball, and he's the father of all lies. And so it's obvious now that everything that's being taught to us has been a lie.
You know you know what I like to tell people too? It's like, think about it this way. You know, he was deceivious enough to make 33% of the angels fall. What makes you think he's not going to deceive you?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm like? He's not just some whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not just some angel or some dude. You know, he's like it went in the stories that I've heard, when he was actually in heaven before he fell, he was actually like top 3, like top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he was in charge of music too. Out of a couple of things that were under his belt, he was in charge of the music, and that's why I feel like there's a lot of deception and a lot of satanic rituals involving the music world and whatnot. And I mean, you hear the stuff the kids are playing nowadays, heavy bass. And if we're 73% water and frequency can flow through water and alter its whatever you want to call, alter it in general, its a physical form. What do you think it can do to you?
I gotta hit you with one of these.
That's very true. Very true.
Even with the echo. It is, though. It is. And that's funny that the numbers keeps changing as how much water we are. I think it was 90 or 80. Now it's 70, whatever. But there's a
I
lot.
just threw a number out there.
Yeah. Well, that's all they do. It keeps changing. I think they just changed the number of normal temperature. I think it made it lower. So that way more people, I guess, can have a high temperature. I just read something about that. 98.6. Now it's less, whatever. But yeah, that whole thing about that's the whole trick of this world is that it's all lies. And I guess where were we? Where are we at? Tell you the truth, believe it or not. Da, da, da. Yeah, and he says your father, you're of the devil. So that goes into this whole idea, and a lot of people have questioned how the days of Noah thing happened, because we obviously somehow our bloodlines have been mixed, and that's why I believe he's referring to here is your father, the devil, because that's the sin that man's born into, I believe.
Absolutely. That's another thing. Everyone has on a high horse, oh, I don't need to be saved. I was born perfect. It's were you now? Okay.
Right.
We'll see about that.
But that's the thing. Okay, let's say we're all born, because someone actually made a comment on one of my shows about that. Yeah, okay. So when you pop out as a baby, you're born perfect and unsinned, right? But then you live here, and eventually you make decisions and you're sinning. I mean, how many as a kid didn't steal something,
You get influenced too, you don't come out knowing hate and racism, but if you're around that, you might grow up to be that. Abuse,
I told this wonderful story about my wife when she was a little girl, and she was going to a birthday party, and her mom took her to the store, and they got a what do you call it, Barbie, and they bought a black doll Barbie. And my wife said at the time, she's like, why are you getting my friend a black Barbie? And she said, because your friend's black. And that just goes to the whole idea. As a kid, we don't see any of this stuff. It comes from these boxes and these scrying mirrors that we need to
we're all just kids.
Racist. Yeah. At the end of the day, nobody hates anyone. It's the way that society builds it into your head to start. It's the opposite teachings of the Bible. The Bible says, love yourself, love God, and love your neighbor as yourself. And the world, Satan's ball, says, everyone out for their own, get as many toys as you can, and watch out for your neighbors. I mean, that's basically the opposite, right?
That 100%.
Oh, I'll get myself one of these.
That's very true. Very true.
All right. Hey, do you mind if I just run downstairs real quick?
As long as you run and we can hear it, and it's really, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Give me like a minute.
I might not have things to talk about. Sure. Okay.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure the chat will keep you amused. If not, just yell at Brian for a minute.
Yeah, right. I wonder if he's still here. I think he's doing some other shows or something. Okay. So what do we got here? Hi, everyone. Now let's see. Let me. How do I do this? I'll stop sharing that. There I am. Hi. Okay. So let's see. What can we discuss? And let's see. Where are we at here? So, well, any questions in the chat for me? Let's see. Children. That's interesting. Children. Where to go? Here it is. Children should be taught to worship dolls as out of perfection. But yeah, it's funny though. They're actually not idols of perfection, right? Have you seen the Ken doll? There ain't nothing there. So I don't know. I don't know how perfecting it could be. And let's see. What do we got? I don't. Oh, there's a lot of ball talk. Let's stay away from that. Probably just okay. So I'm not seeing any questions for me. Is it raining there? No, it's actually. You're right. What am I talking about? It's been like pouring all day for the first time in a long time. It's just it's watering everything, but it makes it so I can't do too much outside. But That's okay. There was a lot to do in the house. And what it says, why is everyone okay with leaders running the world they never interacted with? This world was lost before we were born. Yeah, totally. When I got started into whatever this is that we do, I started saying things like, well, if we all get together and wake everyone up, we'll turn it all around. And now I don't even know if we're supposed to do that anymore. So what do? I prepare. I try to help out as many family and friends and neighbors and people in my real life. And then I go on these shows and try to help people that way. And maybe, like we were discussing before, that the bad things that happen in this world, this life, let's make myself larger here. Maybe they happen for this specific reason that in history of the Bible, if you read about it, people don't actually call out for God's help until they're at their darkest spot. And on some level, and I don't want it to go south, but on some level, if this cart crashes down and more people get in distress, maybe that's part of the issue, that more people then will realize to ask for God and see if he's there, and then he'll be there. Because he says the only reason he's not is you haven't truly looked for him. And once you do that, he's there waiting for you. So could this whole thing crash down to benefit those that, still need to find God to get eternal life? That's what I'm banking on. Because I think the whole kumbaya moment where we wake up the entire populace, I don't even know if that can happen, honestly, and I don't know if it's supposed to. Would I like that to happen? Absolutely. Do I still think there's good in what we're doing, and the protests and all that? All of that's great. All of it is good. But don't be discouraged if the New World Order still gets ushered in, because the controllers or the owners, as I've said recently, they're really good at what they do. They're in it for the long game. They didn't just come up with this plan last week or last year. Some of these things have been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, the thing that happened in September, the fears back, that thing took like 20 years to manifest. So these people don't care about how long it takes. So what we think is a long time, no, it's been going on for forever.
It goes literally all the way back to the garden. Ye shall be as gods.
Yep.
And if you want to take it back even a step further as that, further than that, not as that, sorry. It goes all the way back to Genesis 1:1-1-2. God created the heavens and the earth. And then he I always forget what the second one is. Time out.
Yeah, time. But no, here it's whoops, not that one. Where'd it go? But let's see. Where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah. I believe that, he says. Joseph. Oh, I love that name. God will also allow to get so bad people either scream to God or scream at God. And that's, again, part of the choice, the sorting, right? You're either going to say, thank you, God, or you're going to say, how dare you? And then you've made your choice.
Absolutely.
And I highly don't recommend saying screw you to the guy that's like, driving you cross country, because he'll just say, well, get out of the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't for sure. But like I was saying before, like deception can go all the way back to here, the fight between good and evil. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Oh, I'm not sharing?
Yeah, now you are. No, I didn't have it on. There you go.
Oh, sorry. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So right there, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void. Like, what happened? I don't think God just created something. I feel like it became without form and void. I feel like that's where the real fall happened. I don't think Satan fell in the garden. I don't think he fell while Adam was being created. I think he fell well before that. I think maybe he got word that that was going to be on the cards coming up, and he couldn't even fathom that, you know. And then bam, here we are. But yeah, let me.
And that's a huge thing too for people, like when they think, oh well, I'm good with God, everything's good, and I can't possibly fall away. Really?
Oh,
Okay. How about the number 2 guy, the guy that sat right next to God every day, is like, sup, God? That guy's like, I can do this better, and he fell away. If that guy can fall away and then deceive freaking angels that they hang out with God all day, and he's like, hey, I got something better going. You want to come with me? And they're like, hell yeah. So, like you said, if he can do that, and he's so good at it
in heaven, nonetheless.
in heaven, yeah.
Imagine what he can do here.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm not worried about what he can do. Oh, really? Really? He took a bunch of angels out of heaven and brought them here? Have you guys seen what's happened here?
No,
we're all trying to get back there, and they came down here.
Yeah. Imagine that. All right.
You made me laugh. I've been thinking about this ever since you said it, when I said that Jesus went down to hell or whatever. And you're like, oh, yeah, he went down there to just tell them, hey, guys, we win. And you guys are screwed. That's so funny.
That's literally what happened. That was it. That was the bottom. That was the bottom line. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me? He that is of God heareth God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, Say we not well that thou art a Samaritan, and hast a devil? Jesus answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me.
I just want to make a point real quick here.
Go ahead.
He that is of God heareth God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. And that's more or less like those eyes wide open, ears open, you know, always trying to learn and become more awakening. If you're just closed-minded and stuck in the ways of this world, you're not going to hear the true message. That's all I got. But
no, it's totally it. And he says there, see, because that's the whole idea. What I found, which was interesting. Again, my upbringing being Jewish, so like I'm reading about the Jews, but that's all changed. Like when Jesus shows up, that all changes, because the children of Israel, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter anymore. He even says, "I'm not here to preach to the ones that are already saved. I'm here to preach to the ones that don't know what's going on." And so he came down for the quote Gentiles, right? Because there was a distinction in the Old Testament. Supposedly God had the separate people, and they were the ones, if this was true, they were doing the circumcision. I'm not sure about that whole thing yet, but well, whatever. I know we get circumcised on our heart, but the whole penis thing, I don't know. But they were doing that to themselves, supposedly, so then you could tell who was, you know, God's children and who wasn't. But then when Jesus shows up, he starts preaching to everyone, to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all the C's, right? And then he to the sinners, and you know, he goes to all the places where they don't know God's word, and that's where he changes this whole thing. There aren't any Jews anymore. There's just the people that hear God's word and the people that either don't or choose not to, and that's it. Those are your children, your special children of Israel, whatever. It's just everyone that wants to hear God's word and his love and do those works. And if you don't, then you're not. And so that's why he's talking to the quote Jews, but they even say in the Bible that whoever's calling themselves Jews there now, they're not even who they say they are. They've taken over the name and they're pretending. So
and that kind of retains to something that goes on nowadays. You know, everyone has an issue with the way that the church depicts Jesus, which I do too, but people shouldn't get lost in that sauce. Like I don't think that Jesus was white. It's not gonna break my heart if he is or if he isn't. I don't really have an swayed opinion on that or whatever. wouldn't bother me whatsoever. But a lot of people, especially a good amount of African American folks I know, they don't celebrate. Um, they'll more or less just worship God, and like I said, stay away from the whole Jesus thing because he's presented as a white man, a white savior, this, that, and the other thing, and something like that could have happened. I feel like the adversary definitely could have possibly manifested into like some sort of human form, and
There's my dog, man.
jeez.
Hang on, I'll mute myself.
No, you're good. It could have caused like that sort of deception to just go out through history, because there are claims of whether they're true or not. 'Cause I don't really trust too much of claims and history claims anymore nowadays. But in South America, there is word of a, a white man with like brown hair and a beard. Same thing in like India. Same thing in China. But I could see that just being like the counterfeit, and starting that deception. Obviously, I think Jesus came and did his thing, and where he did his thing over there, Israel, Egypt, whatever, over there. And I feel like maybe afterwards, I feel like the adversary maybe just showed up as just a different color Jesus, so that this deception could play out for a couple hundred years, and now it would be an issue after this whole slavery thing and the whole racism.
I've always had this weird thought though. So like the book I mean, I know they made the movies and stuff, but when I read the book, the monster in it, I think its real form is some giant spider or something. But throughout the book, the monster takes the form of whatever that person sees as frightening. So sometimes it's like the werewolf, sometimes it's like a clown, so whoever is looking at it, they see what they want. Why can't that same idea go to Jesus? Jesus is his presence, and when you look at him, you just see him however you visualize him. I don't know if he was white or black or brown, or it doesn't matter.
See light, I imagine just seeing like a silhouette of a man's body in white, and then just completely just like a face. Like it'd be like looking at the sun, just so bright, but acrylic at the same time.
And but what if like everyone looking at him saw something different at the same time?
Obviously, right? And not obviously, but I've leaned towards that like theory more than once in my life, to say the least. Because there's just so many things about this place, I mean, not color wise, like obviously we're all going to look in the sky and see blue, but things like that, like I feel like when I used to do the whole like ghost hunting thing, I could be standing next to someone and they would not experience anything remotely close to what I'm experiencing 3 feet away, or they'll experience it, but they'll hear something behind them. Like it works both ways in the realm, So obviously I feel like it's just what you're more familiar with or in tune to, or you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, God knows us all in a specific way, Let's just put it in a sports perspective, Let's say you relate with baseball, I relate with golf. God would show up to me as, a golf club, and he show up to you as a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like not like that, but just I
understand.
A little analogy, yeah.
But that's the whole thing. None of us should really worry about the color, the overall look. Did he have a swimmer's body? I don't know, but you shouldn't worry about any of this, or his name, right? You shouldn't worry about any of that.
I mean, he probably did. He was fasting like half his life, it seemed,
Right? Well, it's not like God would send down some overweight person. In fact, I wonder, I put to test that there were any overweight people back then, because they were eating way better. They didn't have any of the chemicals that we have in our food. They didn't have a McDonald's. So yeah.
I feel like all the kings, the kings may have been, and Pharisees and whatnot.
Right. Because they're the ones eating all the garbage.
yeah, eating just straight chicken and turkey wings, and a big pile of potatoes. But I feel like the general folk were good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ready to go?
Yes, and that's why I'm saying yes. We know his name most likely wasn't Jesus. Yes.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
We know it. That's just when I use these words are the words that it's easiest for me to like say because they're the ones in my head. And I'm changing some. I try not to say kids. I say children. I
Yeah.
know the whole God bless thing. That's so confusing to me. I know I've watched Karen stream with Just Jack, and God is some other deed. I get all that. But when you want to tell someone God bless you, you know what? I'm just going to do it, and you're going to have to use discernment to know that I'm talking about Yahweh and not someone else, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like his name's Brad and we're calling him Chris.
Right.
Yeah.
There is some precedent of this particular name, so we'll use it.
Right. All right. You good now? You ready?
Yeah.
And I seek not mine own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. Then said the Jews unto him, Now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets. And thou sayest, If a man keep my saying, he shall never taste of death. Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself?
And it's just, another one of those things he was talking about earlier. I'm not from this world. And, if you're not from this world, if you're from heaven, you're not going to die, so, but he's not saying like, obviously your physical body's going to die. It's that caterpillar thing again. You gotta take a little rest for a while, and then you're going to come out with your butterfly wings,
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the process, mentally, spiritually dying and physically dying are two different things. And I don't think you can spiritually die unless you willingly serve the adversary or just get some sort of DNA altering device put inside you, to say the least.
No bueno.
No bueno. All right. You ready to go?
You bet.
This is bueno. Mucho bueno.
Jesus answered, If I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say, I know him not, I shall be a liar, like unto you. But I know him, and keep his saying. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it, and was glad. Then said the Jews unto him, Thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham? Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Then took they up stones to cast at him, but Jesus hid himself, and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. Chapter
Right.
9.
There's a lot of meat to eat there. So I like the very ending too. Like I just picture, because go to the very last line there where where it says, so they wanted to kill him, and he's like, but then it says Jesus hid himself. Now I don't picture him like hiding in a corner and sneaking out. No, I picture it more like a Jedi kind of thing where he just kind of like flips his coat off or his coat around, and then he's just like he I don't know, vanishes, or I don't know how he does it, but it's almost like
I feel.
It's like a cloaking device when it says he hid himself. You know what I mean? That's right.
I feel like he just put his like hood up and then just like slowly just started like fading backwards through. And they were just like, where
Jesus
did he go?
in a hoodie. I love it.
Not a hoodie, but just
no, I know what you're saying.
through his little Jedi hood up.
And then that other line, that's one that's really been interesting me. Where it says, no, just keep it there. And I love how it always goes, verily, verily. That's like, hey, you better freaking listen. This is the darn truth coming out right now. And he says, before Abraham was, I am. And that's a big deal to me, because when I was reading it, there's a few stories in the Bible where God's talking to this one, I forget his name, but there's this son of one of these guys. And he hears God because God's talking to him, and he calls his name, and he thinks it's his dad. And he answers, "Here am I." And I was like, that's a weird way to answer it. And this is more than one story like that. When someone thinks that
Yeah.
it's someone else calling him, they answer, "Here am I." Or when they talk to God, they go, "Here am I." And I was like, that's a weird way of saying it instead of "Here I am." Well, when God's asked, I think it was by Moses, what do I say? Who's telling me this?
Yeah.
And he says, just say, "I am." And here again, Jesus says, "I am." And so to me, I think it's a really important, again, it's just me in my head. I think saying it that way, it's almost like the way God says it. And whenever I say to God, when I'm talking to him, like, here I am, I'll say, "Oh, hey, it's me. Here am I." Because I do it the same way they did it in the Bible. I don't know if it means anything, but just the fact that they seem to make such a distinction.
Mm.
When people talk to God, they say, "Here am I." And when God talks, he says, "Here I am." And one last thing on that whole children's book about green eggs and ham, where you constantly say, "Sam, I am." I don't know. It just seemed weird to me
It
that
is.
they made such a difference here.
Yeah, and I always try to be careful with using the I and am together. Like people are like, "Oh, describe yourself." I'm like, "Well, I just happen to be," And I'm like, I'm not gonna say I am, 'cause
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, there you go, just
Yeah.
degrading God.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a lot of juice to suck in here for sure.
Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning there. And where were we at? What did it say?
55 is where we
Yeah.
started on that little rant there to the end.
Well, so they're mad at him because he's saying
Yeah.
things like, "I know God and you don't." And he's like, "Well, I'm talking about the same God that you supposedly pray to, but apparently you don't know him. Because if you did, you'd understand everything I'm saying." And
Mm,
Abraham actually has seen this go down and he's thrilled. And that's when they're like, "Oh, come on. There's no way." But see, again, they're thinking this linear level, not in this
yeah.
spiritual forever type of thinking.
No, you're
Uh,
right. And they're like, how could you know Abraham? And it's either one of two or both things. Remember we were talking about God knows us before we were in the womb, something we went over 2 weeks ago.
mhm.
And it all like that could be this scenario where what he's talking about, or it's because Jesus was just up in heaven looking down, like, hey, that's our boy Abraham, doing all these good things.
Mhm.
So either way, and it's like he knows the beginning from the end before anything. And it's funny, Jesus knows what's going to happen, but even he doesn't know the time or the day. Isn't that crazy? There's only God up there. He's like,
Only
yeah.
God knows.
And he's
Yeah.
going to look at an angel and he's going to hit the horn and it's on. And it's on. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like, how much more can one really bear as a father? It's a lot of chips to put on your shoulder if you put yourself like thinking as it's sitting in the foot in the shoes of the creator, looking down, seeing everything you've put together be degraded by literally one adversary.
Right. Right.
And I feel like, like I said, he deceived 33% of the angels, and it looks like he's deceived 100% of the world.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. But that was you want to go over one any more in here, or should we?
Well, I don't know if we want to start a new one. We can keep discussing it. There might be some more questions in the chat and stuff. We can hang out
Yeah,
for a little bit longer.
let's see what the chat has to say for a little bit.
And boy, do we have someone that really needs to. You got to watch the whole thing again and stay after class. I think Melanie's usually in charge of the latecomers. So, yeah, this is late. This is really late. Good to see you. So, uh, I don't know. What do you got? Any other ideas that we want to discuss on this, or?
No, I think we there might have been something I wanted to add. Let me go back and look.
And this, yeah, Christian soldier. Every time God's talking to man, it's Jesus talking to him. And again, I don't know how this all works, but the few conversations that I know I've had with the Creator, it was through Jesus. And I'm not saying he like showed up and he's hanging out and I'm talking to him, but the way it happens for me, the few times it has happened, is if I'm asking a question or something, I'll just hear the answer in my head, like someone's telling it to me. And either I'm thinking it or it's being told to me. And since those thoughts usually, a lot of the thoughts, they're very parable, kind of like Jesus, like I was trying to, with a health issue I was dealing with. And so I was praying to be healed. And I heard this one thing that he said that you're already healed. You just don't know it. And I was like, great, you're talking in parables again. But the way I see it is this: if we are light beings, or whatever you want to call us, children of the Most High, in our enlightened bodies, there is no sickness, no hurt, no any of this stuff. So then we're put down here in the meat suit, as they say. And of course, now with all the things we're ingesting and thinking and doing and all that, it changes our situation and our body makeup and all that. Our water gets vibrated weird, like you're saying, Steve, and all these things can cause issues. But Jesus says if we figure this shit out, we can look at a mountain and say, go over there, and it'll move. So that kind of makes me understand that the limits that I'm putting on my healing, I'm doing to myself. And that doesn't make it any easier how to figure it out.
No.
But I know that's where it has to start and end. It has to start and end with me. Because if you realize that science tells us we're all, atoms, which I think is funny, right? First man is Adam, and the name of the thing is Adam, whatever. But I'm sure it's a coincidence. And we're all energy and all this stuff. And so, like, for instance, I had a problem with a tooth, and I couldn't get into a dentist right away. It took several months. And so this is way before the pandemic. But I've been reading about and hearing about coconut oil tooth, pulling and stuff. And so I put that in there. And over a period of a month, it just, all the pain went away. And so when I finally did get to the dentist, they filled the spot. I was like, hey, is there a way that you think that I could regrow the bone and all this? And he's like, oh, no, that's impossible. And I'm like, well, why? He said, well, it's too hard of a density and all that. Okay. And then I went home and thought about it. Well, you can break literally any bone in your body and it can regrow, right? We regrow our hair, we regrow our toenails, and even when you're dead, it keeps growing. So no, I don't believe that every cell in your body eventually gets regenerated, supposedly so many times in your life. I don't believe that you can't fix damaged ones if you don't, if you try. But by trying means you have to not only work at it, but you also have to stop bringing in poisons and toxins in your body that your body's now fighting. And if it doesn't have to fight those, then it can fix other things. That's the way I see our health and how we can eventually fix ourselves. But it doesn't mean it goes overnight. It takes time, but it can be done, I believe. So.
Absolutely. No, you're good, man. You're good. And something I just wanted to add from the verses earlier. This was verse 36. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. And it was like we were saying earlier, you can look into all these conspiracies and all these, truths pretty much. And without realizing the ultimate truth, you're never really going to be set free. You're always going to probably be Debbie Downer, or you're going to put on a Trump hat. So you just got to be careful. But that's about all I got, man. That was pretty kick-ass,
And I think DJ says it all. I appreciate.
Shout out to DJ, for real.
You know what? I appreciate the fact that you and everyone that's here is enjoying this, and anybody that catches this show later here on Rockfin. I really appreciate that you're here listening to it, because we just felt compelled. He and I do this on our own, and we thought, hey, it'd be fun if other people could listen in and maybe they get something from it too. And apparently, you are.
The chat loves it. I've seen nothing but love in the chat the last 20 minutes.
That's fantastic. Well, the chat is full of legends. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone for being here. Ooh, I just saw this. I'm not here to rag at anyone, but you got to cold turkey the soda. It's the only way you get rid of it. I did it, and it's not easy to do, but once you do it, man, it does a lot, because that stuff, everything in it is bad. There's a new one called Celsius, and I covered it on the show Friday, and it's some energy drink and whatever. and it's just loaded with horrible stuff. In fact, they even say some of the stuff it's likely okay to ingest, which that's what you want in a drink, you know. So
if you can't pronounce it, it's probably not good or real. So
absolutely. So whoops, I'm gonna get off of the screen there. Oh yeah, I can't buy this love. Excellent. So yeah, so that's about it. That's all I have. And I had fun. God willing, let's do this again next Sunday. If you guys don't want to do this again, we'll pick something else. And if you have any suggestions,
well, I feel like we should just pick it up. Jesus just dipped out of the crowd, and let's see where he's going. Man.
oh okay, yeah, no, absolutely. But if you have any questions or anything, please get a hold of us, leave a comment or email one of us, and we'd love to answer if we can.
Yep.
So that's about all I have. And thanks again, Steve. This has just been so much fun. I love doing this.
Thank you, man. This is good stuff.
And so I'll see you guys around the playground, and I'll play my the outro that I just slept through. All I did was just change some of the words at the end. Eventually, maybe I'll get one, but I mainly put it on here in case you guys want to talk as we go out. So I'll leave you with that. And once again, everyone, I guess let's say a quick little blessing. Heavenly Father, Creator, please watch over everyone here. Continue to guide us. Fill us with your love. Fill us with your wisdom, and fill us with the joy that you want us to have, and bring us health and blessings, and continue to help us in this journey to bring as many of your children home as we possibly can. In your name, Jesus, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and bless you all. And that's about all I have.
Absolutely, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. God bless everyone. Be safe, be smart, and don't be deceived.
Amen. Good night.